Hey guys, it's Jason here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the disaster that is my hobby room. First off, check out those. That is a set of old school axial bead locks on a set of old school RC four-wheel drive Baja claws. Not sure what I'm doing with them. I got the tires one time in a trade. I just picked up the rims. I'm thinking they may go on the Big Rock. The only issue is they're super soft. Like the foams in them, I don't know if it's just older foams or if it's just was the way the foams were then. I know a lot of those kind of early RC four-wheel drive tires were more based around like rock crawling and stuff, even though they were 3.8s, so they were soft. So either way, we're gonna at some point, guys, get all those put together. But today is all about the Maxx Slash. Now for this video, we are just gonna head out and run the Maxx Slash. I'm not gonna go over everything I've done yet. I'm not gonna go over the parts I've had to change, the parts I had to fix, all that kind of stuff. I'm just really excited to get out and run it, see how it does. It's a beautiful day. So hopefully, guys, this video is long. If it's long, it means the truck ran. It means it lasted its battery pack. And then at the end, guys, we'll go over some things, but I'll probably do like a follow-up video going over all the modifications, everything I've changed out, the new motor, everything like that. But for today, it's just about getting out and running this truck. I have watched a lot of videos on this truck. I've watched reviews. I've watched everything. And I had, guys, my truck, when it first came out, not necessarily as quick as obviously my friends in the States because Canada gets things a lot slower, but I've had it since the beginning and I've driven it, and when I first got it, I super enjoyed it. And then I'm not gonna lie, guys, when I started really driving the truck and wanting to jump it, you really start to see where the Maxx Slash sort of falls short of a lot of other trucks. So I've done some modifications, I've changed up some things. Hopefully today goes well. Either way, let's head out and we're gonna run this beast. All right, guys, so we're here. We got the Maxx Slash set up. Now, one of the things I changed was those little risers on the front arms that gives us a little bit more travel in the front. And the one thing I realized I didn't do was I didn't adjust my collars after doing that. So you can kind of tell the front end's a little high, but either way, we're gonna drive it. We're gonna see how we do. And hopefully, guys, like I mentioned at the beginning, get through a full pack. That's kind of my big thing for today. And as I say in every video, we're gonna start off small and hope that, well, I couldn't bring the front end down. Oh, come on. I couldn't bring the front end down there. Now, that might be, to be fair, because guys, what I'm gonna do in this video is I'm not just gonna, I was gonna say bash, but that's the wrong term when it comes to driving an RC car. I'm not gonna constantly put it down in the sense that, you know, I don't have a lot of wheel spin there. So applying some brake, maybe I need to up my brakes, stuff like that. Obviously, if you take a jump with not a lot of wheel spin, when you hit your brake, you're not going to have, you know, that force, that momentum to kind of kick the truck. So either way, we'll see how we do. Gonna try this again. That took reverse. You guys probably saw. And I don't know, I got a pretty bad noise there. I don't know what that is. That might be, so I do have a new spur in this. I dropped to a 46 tooth spur. Nope. Oh, guys, man, oh man. Again, I want to make it through battery pack, so I'm taking things slow. I was out here a few weeks ago with the Mojave 4S. So I'm kind of, you know, it's not necessarily, guys, a comparison, but come on. it's sort of a, well, I guess you can say compare. I'm kind of comparing the two of them and just how easy the Mojave 4S was to drive compared to this thing. Now we have, it looks like somebody learning how to drive in the parking lot today, which doesn't make sense. This is kind of a popular parking lot, so I don't know why they're here, but either way, yeah, I could not bring that down. That's what I'm hoping to do today, is jump and land on that the front end will kind of fall down enough and I won't have to worry about having to really quickly react. Because that guy's is reverse. I'm using reverse to get that front end down, not a brake. Something's wrong with our steering. Hopefully it means we just got something stuck there. All right, guys, we're back out. I went home. I replaced the servo horn. I also brought the brake up. So we're at 4th level. We're now at the 5th, which is like 62.5. Battery's freshly charged. Removed a little bit of preload from the front. We'll see how we do this time. Because I'm really starting to try to wonder where this truck fits in. And that's what I'm trying to do. Holy. Okay, so the new motor, which again we're going to cover, is nice little definitely aids in this thing. Look at that. Whew, she's, oh my god, guys. So this morning when I was here, there was a car driving around. It looked like they were like doing teaching driving, like some type of driver's aid or something like that, driving aid, whatever it's called, driving school. And so this is the first time I've been in the parking lot with nobody, and this thing's ripping now. My steering seems a little off. There we go. Lay. This motor woke it up a lot. I am worried though about these tires. All right, so this, guys, is the same thing that happened the first time I drove it, where it's got some nice power, because you can see she's moving right now. And actually, guys, when I first got it, when I was setting up, there was a bunch of people out there, but they all just left, because I was going to just kind of try to run it out there and just kind of open it up like I did when I first got it, but I didn't want to disturb them, so I set up here. But like I said, as I was setting up, they were leaving. So, because again, guys, it's about four hours later. Okay, all right, you know what, I'm not gonna say anything yet. I'm just gonna put on some music, and drive this thing. All right, guys, so I knew something was wrong with my steering. Look at that. That right there is an Amazon servo horn. And yeah, it destroyed it within, what, a few minutes? And actually, guys, we're starting to think that maybe this was going to go well. So I'm going to go home. I'm going to see what else I have for servo horns. And depending on how much time is left in this video, maybe I'll be back here running again for a third time. All right, guys, we've got the truck home. It's back on the bench. It's all cleaned up. And I was going to kind of hold off on some of this information until the next video, but I know that a few people are probably really interested in what I was running for a motor and what I was running for a servo in this run. Because if you can't tell, the last minute and a half is when I started feeling good. I started feeling like, oh, this truck could be fun. I could see the potential in the truck. It was kind of starting to surprise me. And it was made with a couple of little minor changes and stuff. You guys, you didn't see after the first time that I had issues with the steering, that was the plastic servo horn. It had stripped out. I drove home, replaced it with a metal ones that I had got off of Amazon. And you saw what happened to that one. That one just broke right in half. And I have ordered another fix. I'm going to go with the hot racing servo horn and the bar. It's a little bit more low profile, so it's going to fit under that brace. I had come home again from that run, and I had put on the AGF RC servo horn, which is pretty big and beefy, but it's a little bit tall. I mounted it up and I thought, okay, maybe I'll just trim the top part of it off, like with a Dremel. But then I was like, you know what, this is actually a pretty nice servo horn. I'd rather keep that for something else. So I've gone ahead and ordered the hot racing part for it. That should be here tomorrow. So fingers crossed that the weather that's showing for the weekend doesn't actually come like next weekend, because it looks like it's all rain. So that'll be kind of a bummer. But what I do want to cover in this video, guys, is the change in the brake. So I usually, guys, run my brake at 50 or even around the 37.5 mark. And I can always do the kind of correcting and everything that I want. This was at 50%, and you could see in this video and other videos that it wasn't enough. Boosting it up to that next setting, which again I think was either 62 or 67, made a nice improvement. Even at low speeds, tapping the brake did allow me a little bit of correction. So obviously, when you start driving this truck a little bit harder and you get a little bit more RPMs, a little bit more wheel spin, that's when you're going to be able to start correcting even easier. And for me, a lot of time it's the brake. It's bringing that front end down a little bit so that I can land nice and smooth on all four tires instead of landing on the rear bumper. The motor. So the motor is a Rocket RC 4082 2060 kV. 40, yeah, that's what it is. And it was a motor that I'd bought for another truck that I just never ended up using. It's been sitting in the box now for a while. And I thought, you know what? There's a ton of room in the Maxx Slash to fit that motor. Let's drop it in. The other thing we did, we also changed the spur. I'm now running a 46 tooth spur, still running the 25 tooth pinion. The temps seemed to be fine when I had the truck up on the tailgate. I did a couple of times when I was, well, when the truck broke, when the servo horn broke, I kept just kind of touching the motor, seeing how it was, and it seemed to be fine. So it seemed to be working very well with that 46 tooth spur. The other thing, guys, I changed was the servo. So obviously I wrecked the stock servo. I now have an AGF RC servo in there. This was a partnership, guys, with me and Zone RC. They've been around now for a while on the channel. They were the Louise RC tires that I got and all that kind of fun stuff. And with the receiver I'm running for now, which will change soon, I can't go up into the 7.4 or 8.4 volts, so I'm only running it at 6 volts, but I'm still getting 473 ounces of torque out of this servo. It's IP67 waterproof and all that good stuff. So This truck has taken a nice change. Again, that last guy's minute and a half, I just started seeing some potential, and unfortunately I messed up that last jump and, well, we wrecked the servo horn. Stay tuned, because I am really, right now, guys, we're only waiting on that servo horn from Hot Racing to get this truck back up and running, and you might be able to notice another change right now on the truck, and I'm really excited for that one. I've been kind of figuring out a way to make something work, and I now have it. I'm going to keep that, guys, for the next video, because if I could now bet money, I think the next run with this truck is going to rock, because there's a couple of improvements that we've made over the last couple of runs, and the next one I think is going to be one of the biggest ones, because this fix has fixed so many other RCs that I've owned. The minute I do this, or put on, should be a huge hint for everybody, these always liven up the car, the buggy, the truck, whatever it is that I'm running. Well, truck and buggy. It always livens it up. And I think that's going to be the answer for the Maxx Slash, because like I mentioned, guys, I am not giving up on this truck. I am not going to just let it fall. I'm not going to dump it, sell it, none of that stuff. When everything's said and done, and I promise, guys, I'm almost done, I'm going to go back over everything that I've done on the truck and what really worked, or were some parts just for flash. And mainly, if you do buy a Traxxas Maxx Slash, so if you're one of those people that has to buy a Traxxas, because don't get me wrong, you still want to buy a Mojave 4S over this truck. But if you have to buy a Traxxas, I'm going to cover what you want to do to make this truck fun. If you're somebody who plans on going out and jumping and bashing it, if you're just going to rip it around a field, if you're just going to take next to no jumps for it and all that kind of stuff, well then yeah, leave it stock all you want. But if you want to have some fun, there are some things you got to do. But guys, on that note, if you enjoyed this video, give me a big thumbs up, please subscribe, and as always, have a great day.